Tonight we would like to give you a sample of our material.
What a splendid idea.
And what better to start with than a segment from The Tailors of Poznan's.
Or the apprentice lover should never press his suit in the firm's time. Now then. Yes, now where are we now? Ladies and gentlemen, the action of this one takes place in the little village of Poznan's, somewhere in Cornwall. And the opening scene is in the tailor's workshop, which is owned by Maury King.
And run by a lot of fly-by-nights.
Yes. He is a trouser manufacturer. Oh, goodness me. You'll have to zip along a bit quicker than that, Gilbert. It gets decidedly worse. Anyway, the opening scene is the tailor's workshop, and there's a big party going on, which fills the stage with festivities. Now, Maury King is giving this party, which is very unusual for him, because although he is the wealthiest man in Poznan's...
Oh, he's a rich man.
Oh, he's loaded, absolutely. He is at the same time very mean.
He's a mean man.
You do meet them occasionally like that. Very rich and very mean. He's a bit of a schnorrer, if you know what I'm talking about. Here, watch it. Well, I mean, he's got a burglar alarm on his dustbin. And he walks about the stage there with patches on his Kleenex tissues. Oh, he got never. But anyway, he's giving this party for a very good reason. You see, one of his employees, young Mervyn Mindle, who is the tenor, for those who are interested, he has just completed his apprenticeship as a tailor.
Just completed his apprenticeship. You know how old he is?
Tell them, girl.
32.
He's not what you'd call quick.
Quick? I'll give you a for instance.
Oh, dear.
It took him so long to learn Hebrew, he had his bar mitzvah on his 28th birthday.
Yes, that's true.
Now, this Maury King fellow, altogether a different kettle from fish.
Yes.
Yeah, self-opinionated, egotistical, bumptious know-all.
You have created a beautiful self-portrait there.
Now, Maury King is secretly rather fond of Mervyn Mindle's mother. That's the Mrs. Ruth Mindle.
She's the contralto, for those who are interested. But I don't want you to think that this opera is permissive in any way at all.
Oh,
it's quite in order. It's quite kosher for Maury King to be keen on Mrs. Mindle. You see, she has been deserted for just on 20 years. So she's virtually a single girl. Yeah. Incidentally, I would like you all to be particularly attentive to the information we're giving you, because Goldberg is bound to ask questions later. So if you want to make notes, use the back of the program. Now, Goldberg, will you sing the Maury King song that he sings at the party? Ladies and gentlemen, Goldberg is going to sing the Maury King song that he sings at the party, where he not only welcomes the guests to the festivities, but he makes a startling announcement which shakes everybody, particularly Mrs. Mindle, and I'll point it out when he gets to it, so don't worry.
You sure you wouldn't like to sing the song for them?
Oh, yes, yes.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like that.
That is traditional. Yes.
Good evening, friends, drink up, enjoy this celebration for the boy. And though his learning was a bit slow, now he's got a trade 'cause he's learned to sew. He'll take his praise for he's now a man. Now I'll unfold my secret plan.
Now, here's the bit I was telling you. Yes.
For I intend to buy a ring and make Mrs. Mindle Mrs. King, for I am Maury King. And it will be a wonderful thing, this ring from Maury King. Yes, I am Maury King.
Oi, oi, what joy for Maury King.
And we'll make our wedding in the spring, 'cause I am Maury King.
And they'll have gelt and everything, hurrah for Maury King.
The time has come that I took a bride and had gefilte fish and fried, and loction soup and maybe some borscht, for I'm getting tired of eggs and vosh. I'll give her a house, a car, a poodle.
He's angestupt, you see.
I'll give her the works if she makes me strudel.
He's also guarantor to Claw.
For I intend to buy a ring and make Mrs. Mindle Mrs. King, for she will be Mrs. King. And it must be the wonderful thing to be the Mrs. King. Yes, she'll be Mrs. King.
Oi, oi, what joy for Mrs. King.
And like the schmaltz that floats on the soup, I'll cling to Mrs. King.
And they'll have gelt and everything. Hurrah for Maury King. Well, now, I trust that 50% of that applause was for my vocalizing there.
Meanwhile, back at the Poznan's party, there is great consternation. You should excuse me.
Yes. Well, Mrs. Mindle makes it perfectly plain she's not at all keen on Maury King's advances.
Advances and schmances, she doesn't fancy the idea, no?
That's what I said.
In fact, so upset is she about it that she threatens to leave the party and take her little boy chick of 32 with her. Come on, son.
Yeah.
Come on, boy.
Now, this is Goldberg's big idea of introducing some drama to the proceedings. Can you imagine that? You know, the big walkout from a party to leave everybody absolutely aghast. But when Mrs. Mindle looks around for this boy chick of 32, she cannot find him. And why not? Because Mervyn has turned out to be a poor wandering one. He has snuck outside.
Oi.
He's now in the garden.
Oi.
In the moonlight.
Oi.
With a somebody.
Oi. And that somebody turns out to be a girl.
Oh, thank God.
Who is a newcomer to the village.
Yes.
Now, her name is Sheila Sholem.
Yes.
Got that?
She is a soprano for those who are interested.
And she is the only daughter of a titled Jewish gentleman from London called Sir Oliver Sholem.
Yes.
No.
No.
He's not a spiritualist.
No, he's not.
He's an industrial psychologist. And this is one of the songs of Solomon.
This actually is the song that Sir Oliver bursts forth into whenever he's introduced to anybody new. It will give you some idea of what a busybody this gentleman is. But the correct title for this aria is The Oliver Sholem's Psalm. Thank you very much indeed. I run a school in London for industrial psychologists. It's deadly scientific, like the study of pathologists. I teach the big employers all the ways of sales psychology, like how to insult customers without giving apology. I'm very well acquainted too with uses of psychiatry. With double talk, I can sell pork like it was kosher dietary. I have so many theories about shoppers being teasable. You tell them you've reduced your price and they'll believe it feasible. I have a premonition when it comes to buying out new lines, cause I'm in the position to evaluate by certain signs the impulse bug that people have who are not entomologists, and so I run a school for big psychologists. Oh, you'd be surprised the people who attend the classes that I give. From Moscow, Philadelphia, from Golders Green and Tel Aviv. The basis of my science will apply on this, you can depend, to anyone from anywhere who's simply got a dime to spend. Now a most inquiring rabbi asked me if I had a golden rule for getting him some customers to fill his very empty shul. I gave to him some counsel, and resultantly I'm pleased to say his shul's so packed each Sabbath that there isn't any room to pray. Yes. Cause everything's a question of the way you look him in the eye, and if they leave your county you must look as though you're gonna cry. I learned about star value from a popular astrologist, and so I run a school for big psychologist.
You can join in if you want to.
Oh. Now parliamentary members come to learn to sell democracy. Then buy a book I wrote on this called Thieving and Hypocrisy. I teach them all the methods that are used by advertising blokes, so when addressing Zionists they don't make circumcising jokes. I've got a house in Downing Street in case I'm wanted for a coup. Like teaching the Prime Minister the way to make a loction soup. I have a branch in Washington at which I'm really resident. Well, I find it too expensive playing club-yash with the president. I started with a little stall and made a great success of it. Well, other people had to go and made a shocking mess of it. I may be a meshuggah according to phrenology, but I've made gelt from teaching this industrial psychology. Thank you, music lovers. Thank you.
Now, this Sir Oliver Solemn character is here busybody.
Oh, you can say that again, Gilbert. My word.
Now, this Sir Oliver Solemn character is here busybody. In fact, I'll tell you, I'm often basing the characters in my operettas on people that I know in real life.
This is one of Goldberg's little quirks. He's forever doing this, yes.
And I based the character of Sir Oliver Solomon on my father-in-law.
Oh, now there's a busybody if there ever was one. Friends, do you know all of his relations are busybodies, but this father-in-law of Goldberg's takes the cake. Funny you should mention him, Goldberg. You know, I haven't seen him around lately. In fact, all this week I haven't seen him. The sort of thing he does, friends, is poke his nose into the box office to check on my share of the takings. Interfering old devil.
Just a minute, Solomon. My father-in-law is in hospital.
Oh, I beg your pardon, Gilbert. I had no idea the old boy was sick.
Yeah.
How long has he been in hospital? Good.
Let me see now. In 3 weeks, please God, it'll be a month. Now, as you've just heard, the Merwin Mindel and the Sheila Sholem, they fell in love on the night of their meeting at the party. You got that, haven't you? Right.
You're very colourful.
Now, the morning after the night from their first meeting...
The next day.
So Oliver Sholem, who he's just been singing about, he meets up with the Mrs. Ruth Mindel. And they fall in love right there, dot and bang on the village green. Now, this is far too simple.
Oh, this is far too simple.
There must be a complication.
Friends, if Goldberg has got anything to do with the writing of plots about the operettas, you can count on them being complicated. I'll give you that advice.
Listen to who's talking. He is so complicated. When he goes to see a psychiatrist, the psychiatrist lies down on the couch.
Now, don't get personal. Stick to your plot if you can find it.
Meanwhile, back in Poznansk,
the Jewish Peyton Place.
So Oliver Sholem and Mrs. Mindel agree to meet later at a much more private, intimate location.
London Airport.
The whilst Mrs. Mindel goes off to meet her girlfriends from Witzel.
Oh, that's the Women's International Zionist Organization. I thought I'd explain it for our Welsh friends in the Grand Circle up there. All right. Got it, yes, they've got
For an afternoon schmooze and a game Kaluki.
They all play Kaluki now.
Yes, and it's there where they're having a game Kaluki and a tete-a-tete and a cup of tea when all of a sudden... Knock, knock, bang, bang is a ring at the bell. Aha! Who's that?
No, over this side, Gilbert. This... And in bursts Mervyn Mindel, pale, wan, and ashen, because, you see, he's got a problem. Naturally, it's being a comic opera, he presents his problem to his mother in song. Friends, you're going to hear the problem duet now as sung between Mrs. Mindel and this idiot, fool, schlemiel, nincompoop son of hers, Mervyn. Oh, a pitiful example of human.
Now, for the purpose of this demonstration, I shall sing the part from Mrs. Mindel.
Goldberg, you know perfectly well that Mrs. Mindel is the part I would prefer to sing.
Yeah, well, I know what you would prefer, but believe you to me if I got a better idea for you. And the part of the absolute idiot himself, Merwin Mindel. Would you oblige, please, Sullivan? Just act normal.
Oh, he's such a comic, isn't he?
Solomon.
It's enough to give Yul Brynner dandruff, I'm telling you. I refuse to make a fool of myself.
Solomon, play.
Now, Mama, dear, come talk to me. I got a problem on my head. I'm getting on for 33 and I'm supposed to wed. 'Cause I'm in love with Sheila, who already wants to don my socks.
No.
So here's my problem now for you. My Sheila's orthodox.
She's orthodox?
She's orthodox. My Sheila Sholem orthodox. I swear this by her shittled locks that Sheila Sholem's orthodox. Oh, Mama! She's orthodox, Sheila Sholem's orthodox. Oh, Mama, help me with my problem, Mama. I gotta find it a solution.
I must confess I cannot see how this affects your married life. For surely it is better she won't dish you up with tripe.
But, Mama dear, it's not the food. I do not mind the way I'm fed. Do I, Mama? Mama, my Sheila, she's so strict, she thinks it rude to have a double bed. She's orthodox.
So orthodox?
My Sheila, shall have orthodox.
Rather than be left on the rocks.
Yes, Mama?
So weather girl, who's orthodox?
Thank you, Mama. She's orthodox, she's orthodox, she's orthodox, she's orthodox. She's orthodox. Now follows the traditional encore. It's the one that you get whether you want it or not. And it would be this number, wouldn't
it? So long as she's a real nice girl who understands the way you think, who won't expect a row of pearls, a nightdress trimmed with mink.
My Sheila is a lovely miss who's not too thin and not too stout. But on Saturday night, I get no kiss until the Sabbath. Ow. She's orthodox.
So orthodox?
My Sheila shall have orthodox.
So long she don't want diamond rocks?
Yes, Mama.
So what if she's so orthodox?
Thank you, Mama. She's orthodox, she's orthodox, Sheila shall have orthodox. Yeah, she's orthodox. She's orthodox. You needn't have taken a vote on that one either. No, I don't want you to leave this theatre with the wrong impression. I admit we've got an imbecile in the cast. His mother has been deserted for 20 years. Maury King would like to marry her, but doesn't get anywhere near it, and Shmuel is the most unsuccessful matchmaker in the business. No, friends, it is a comic opera.
Oh, it's a comic opera. It's a laugh a minute.
Yes. And just to prove how jolly it is, we're going to end this segment on this opera with a song of good news.
Mazel tov.
Oh, how classic of you to wish me good luck in Hebrew, Gilbert, because the number that I've chosen is this production number over here. It's the song where it's called a double mazel tov, you know? Yes. And there's a very good reason for a double mazel tov, a double good luck. There's to be a double wedding. I just had second thoughts. This isn't going to be easy for us to demonstrate, being a production number. Those friends in the audience who are not clear on theatrical terms. A production number is one in which each and every member of the cast have a few lines to sing.
And unfortunately, we couldn't afford to bring the entire Goldberg and Sullivan Opera Company with us.
No.
And in any case, most of them are his relations. And with his relations, you can take them anywhere twice. Second time to apologize. But I tell you what, I've got an idea. Look, do me a favor. Kindly imagine that I am a half a dozen people.
I say, give a cook at the Beichel, Dorten there. Look at that stuff. Acres and acres of genuine kosher schmaltz, I tell you. Genuine kosher schmaltz. I think he was intended for twins, but they forgot to separate him.
I'll have you know I'm wearing my Playtex Gutkas.
Tell me, Gilbert, what is your Playtex gut case supposed to do?
It's supposed to make me look 5 pounds 10 thinner, no?
Only in the pocket. Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to picture now, on this side of the stage here, on your left, comes the young couple. There's young Mervyn and Sheila, arm in arm, lovely couple. And on the other side, there, over in the prompt corner, we have Mrs. Mindel, that's Mervyn's mother, arm in arm with Sir Oliver Sholem, Sheila's father. All right, go. Now, when the two couples meet on the stage and announce to the company who are standing in the traditional G&S horseshoe arrangement, they always stand like that, in spite of modern medical means. Anyway, They stand like that, and when they are told that there's to be a double wedding, everybody's deliriously happy. With the exception of Playtex Gutkus King over there, who's very long in the face. He's lost his girlfriend. Now, this moment in the opera, as far as I'm concerned, is hysterically funny. I have fits in the pit every night.
Hysterically funny. No, just for that, you can sing all the parts now.
Oh, thank you
No,
for
no.
nothing.
Mervyn Mindel.
Mazel tov, a double mazel tov. I'm getting red, I'm going to be a tough. Sheila and I are going to book the rub. Come on, won't you wish us mazel tov?
Sheila Solemn.
Oi, oi, what joy I feel. This is all so sudden.
Kost je plenty naden.
I'm filled with joy and verve ever since I met my Merv.
Mervyn.
Oi, what joy we feel. We have found each other and we're taking ladder. Sheila and I will strive to keep the Mindel name alive.
The mind boggles.
Oh, you can just boggle with Maury King, because I'm having a rest. Off you go, you sing Maury King.
Took me 20 years to teach the boy. Now when he's worth something to employ, he can go ungrateful youth. But I'm saddened more by losing Ruth. Now this is Ruth Mindel, played on a recording by Miriam Carlin.
Smile, please, Maury, do yourself a favor. You look like you're off to a mitzvah. Do you have some feeling in your beichel left for me?
Sir Oliver Solemn.
Maury King, things are not so bad. Raise a smile, it shows you're not sad. In your heart, although of course you grieve, you knew both of them one day would leave.
Mrs. Mindel.
I feel just like a bride, yet I must look solemn, 'cause I'll be Lady Show. My life has turned out right, and after I'll be wed in white.
So we're in white.
Some chutzpah Ruth in white. And so all right, we'll let our Ruth be a bride, all decked out in white.